Welcome to episode number 5. Let's get it. Let me start off by saying this project has been a nightmare, but it is finally done. Within a week or two, I'll be closing on the property. Sure, there's a little bit of touch-up work that needs to be done, like the walls that need to be touched up, some weather stripping that needs to go in, but for the most part, the property is completely done. Now, the reason I haven't made a video on this in a while was because it looked like there was no progress that was being made. You see, when you build a property, there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through when it comes to doing like surveys, inspections, appraisals. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into the back end, and I didn't feel like that was very important to film. It was kind of just a waiting game. Now in episode 4, I talked about we had the cabinets in, and well, now we've got our countertops, we've got the appliances, the sink is hooked up, everything looks pretty good. This is just level 1 granite. I went with the most basic building option that I could do. Remember, the number one reason I bought this property was for the sole fact that it is an investment property. Sure, this unit is going to be my primary residence, but that's only going to be for a short time period until we buy the next property. Now in Florida, it seems like they just slap these properties together, but there are certain things about this property that the builder had included that aren't on a lot of properties and that I actually really like. For example, I actually got nicer ceiling fans in this unit, and I know it sounds dumb, but a lot of the units come with some pretty plain looking features that aren't very modern, and I think it gives that extra touch to the property that I really like. I've also talked about the floor. I do like this floor a lot just because a lot of these basic duplexes come with just a standard tile that again kind of looks pretty cheap, and I think the luxury vinyl plank kind of builds a little bit more value to the property. Now, one of the biggest upgrades that happened to this property that I absolutely love and is my favorite thing is the fact that we got a pavered driveway, pavered front porch, and a pavered lanai. So this is something you don't see on a lot of duplexes. They do this on single family homes as kind of like an upgrade option, but for a duplex in the area that I'm in, this is pretty rare. So I think this definitely adds value to the property, and overall it just makes the property look that much nicer. So let's talk appliances. They gave me all LG appliances, stainless steel. I'm really happy with that. It's not like it's some outdated stuff, so I think that's cool. That's what I was expecting to get with the property. However, in episode 4, I talked about the only thing I had to purchase for both units was a washer and dryer. The seller threw that in for me, which is awesome because that saves me about $3,000 for having to put that in both units. And yes, I'm still dressed in my work clothes because I work all day and I decided to come right to my rental property right after work, because when you work your 9 to 5, you should be working your 5 to 9 right after. So I don't have time to change. Okay, and now that the building is completed, I officially have my plans of how I'm going to use this as a rental property. So obviously the other side is going to be rented completely. I'm going to rent that out to most likely a family. I'm not going to do a rent by the room strategy on the other side. However, on my side, I am going to rent out the master to a friend. So that room is completely occupied. And in my previous episodes, I was having a hard time deciding which room I wanted to take. I'm going to be taking the room that is the completed square, the normal shape bedroom, just because I think it's gonna give me a little bit more room for my furniture that's going in there. I like how it's a little bit closer to the bathroom. And the third bedroom is actually gonna be turned into our office space / YouTube room. So I'll finally have a designated recording room, which again is going to be super exciting. Also in episode 4, you saw that all the doors were kind of off the hinges. They are now up and hanging. I also have a pantry installed, as well as all my closet. The shelving in there is all installed. So overall, I am pretty happy with the property. It's definitely been some ups and downs getting here, a lot of miscommunication between myself, the seller, and the builders. But I think we finally have come together and we're at the end result that makes both of us happy. This may be the final episode of the house build series. Maybe I'll do a move-in day. I'm not 100% sure yet. but this is the completed build, so I just want to give a final recap. If you are planning to buy an investment property, I was having a hard time at the time deciding buying an existing home versus a new construction home. After everything that's kind of went on, I am happy with the new construction home. However, I definitely would not put existing homes on the market out of the equation. I think there's a lot of good opportunities out there. At the time of this recording, with the housing market, the interest rates, things like that, going new construction in the area that I chose just made more sense. That's why I did that. I do plan on buying more properties in the future and sharing that with you guys on YouTube. We've waited months for this to get finished, filming everything from beginning to end, and I'm glad I was able to share everything from start to finish with you guys on YouTube. So if you did enjoy this video and enjoyed this series, let me know in the comments. I'd love to do something else like this again in the future. Whether it's buying more real estate, building a business, something where we can track the progress along the way. You guys are all legends, and until next week's video, peace.